Hi, everyone. It's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. We are now with Angel Heart Radio. So I am so delighted that you are with us, joining us from all over the world. And today we're going to be talking about manifesting, how to manifest your dreams in 4 easy steps.
Angel Heart Radio programs should not be used to replace your legal or medical advice. Welcome everyone to Angel Heart Radio. You are our focus. We want you to know that you matter in the world and that you're important to the world. We're here to remind you of just how valuable and needed you are right now. Help us to help others. If you like what you hear, tell your friends, post, tweet, pin, let everyone know how amazing Angel Heart Radio is. So again, welcome to Angel Heart Radio. Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is sponsored by AngelLight777.com.
And we're back to talk about how to manifest your dreams in 4 easy steps. And as always, when we want to find out anything, the best thing that we can possibly do is go to my guides, go to your guides, find out how can we do this. This world can be so filled with challenges that we often get worn out. So what we do every week, and we've been doing this in another format and just now joining Angel Heart Radio, is to take a look at what our guides have to share with us. And we have the champion manifester here with us today, Saint Germain, the keeper of the violet flame, who helps us transform those lower negative energies into powerful, positive energy. But let's take a look first at what our guides have to share with us. And they begin. Dear ones, you can't have it both ways. You cannot be fabulous creators, brilliant manifestors, and beings of unlimited capability and not be responsible for your thoughts and feelings. So immediately they put it right back into our laps. They want us to know that it's so important that we realize that we are the power in our own lives. And we can magnify that ability when we connect with the divine. But even when we are completely disconnected, we are still manifesting. Those of you who complain the loudest about not being able to manifest all that you want are not looking at the whole picture. In addition, you're not understanding the process of manifesting. You want to isolate one piece of the entire puzzle and pretend that's all there is. Unless you're willing to look at the whole, you'll never be completely successful. Success does not lie within a vacuum. It lies within the crowded field of possibility and arrives when you've successfully engaged with all of the positive possibilities while navigating around the negativity and limiting beliefs. So let's get very clear. You are never going to have a life where you never have to engage with anything that doesn't feel perfect. That's why you came. You came to understand what you do want and what you don't want. But you did not come to be ruled by the world. You came to as conquerors, every single one. But you've got to exercise that birthright. The ones who successfully manifest what they do want do so because they've aligned with what is wanted and they've rejected or ignored that which is not wanted. Those who constantly attract what they don't want spend their time and their attention on rehearsing and investigating why they're getting things they don't want. Picture it as though it is a lock and chain. When you attach yourself to the thing that didn't go well, that you don't want, and you start digging in there and blaming and shaming and getting into all those negative emotions. You are snapping closed the lock and you are chaining yourself to more of that same energy. That means that you will manifest, because all of you manifest perfectly, you will manifest more of what you don't want. The person who considers themselves to be poor at manifesting says such things as, I can never manifest anything. I don't understand or can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing the best I can, but things just never seem to work out for me. Please let go of this conversation. It's holding you stuck. You're very good at manifesting. You're just not good at where you're placing your attention. The person who manifests poorly's conversation is not focused on all they have, but it will be centered around all that's lacking or missing. When they receive more of what's missing, they believe they've failed at manifesting. Yet that's not what happened. It's the story they've created about what's happened, but not the reality of the situation. We've all been there. We've all done it. We get attached to an outcome that we don't want, and we start saying things, I hope it doesn't turn out this way. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. What if it turns out? And sure enough, it turns out exactly the way we were hoping it wouldn't. And then we start in with the story about why it happened and why it wasn't our fault and why, oh my gosh, we could go on down that path forever. But if you want to achieve pleasant, long-lasting results that will help you progress quickly, you must have a clear-eyed view of your behavior, your conversations, and self-talk, as well as your actions. Nothing good is going to come from sticking your head in the sand and hoping that nobody is going to see that your legs are sticking out. Pretending something isn't happening doesn't make it go away. It doesn't transform the situation or create lasting positive results. Pretending enables you to act as if something that is happening isn't happening, but pretending doesn't stop negative consequences from occurring, and pretending inhibits growth. Now, let's remember that a very powerful practice is to act as if you have already acquired or manifested the thing that you do want. That is not pretending. When you are pretending, you're in a fantasy land and you're refusing to take responsibility. You're saying, I don't care what I need to do in order for this to happen. I'm just going to abandon all of my responsibility and hope that it works out. You are not taking constructive, proactive action. So how can you learn to manifest more of what you want? First, realize that you never stop manifesting. If you remember every thought counts, you will be much more careful about what you're thinking. Everything that appears in your life is a result of your ability to manifest. No one in physical form is incapable of manifesting. However, many of you in physical form are undisciplined and are manifesting a lot of things that you don't want. Certainly, when I began this journey, I had manifested such a house of horrors that it was impossible for me to believe that I was responsible for it. That was such a huge jump for me to go from the life that I was living and the cuckoo-ness that I had allowed to occur, and the fact that I could be responsible for it. It took me a really long time. But as soon as you stop complaining that you don't know how to manifest and recognize you're brilliant at manifesting, but lousy at manifesting your desires, you will have arrived at an actionable starting point. You will have identified a behavior that's causing an unwanted result, and a simple shift in that behavior will have enormous impact. If you want to change your life, you've got to understand it's your responsibility. No one can do it for you. They can help you, but in the end, it will be your responsibility. Second, you must be consistent with your point of focus. Now that you realize you're a brilliant manifester, you need to become more aware of where you put your attention. Are you consistently focused on all that you do want? Or do you wander back and forth between what is wanted and what is unwanted? See yourself right this minute driving your car in a circle. When you wander back and forth between, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this wonderful new job that's coming to me, and the next minute you say to yourself, oh gee, I hope that, what if this job doesn't come? What am I going to do? And you go off down the lane with that story. The very best you can hope for is to drive in a circle. Generally, we go in reverse. If you have no clear vision, there will be no clear avenue for manifestation to occur, and you will receive the end product of your dominant programming. So, notice I said, gee, I'm so excited about this job. And then I immediately went to the negative and had at least 5 more sentences of negative than I did positive. I had the what ifs, I had the I hope so, oh no's. That would have been my dominant programming, and I would have manifested the negative. The job would have fallen through even if I was the most qualified person for that job, because my negative programming was dominant and it was going to force me to accept the negative, because that's what I was comfortable manifesting. In other words, you'll receive whatever you think about and talk about most. A mind that flips back and forth between possibilities has aligned with none and has lost the power of attention. That power of attention should be toward all that is positive, not toward all that you believe is realistically possible. You don't know what God can do. God can do anything. So don't put a limit on God. Just become positive and ask for that which is for your highest good. Manifestation begins instantly. When a thought is formed and held for as little as 60 seconds, the thought begins to acquire physical form. However, the time between the beginning of the manifestation process and the appearance of the desired result cannot happen without the sustained application of energy. Remember, when you go back and forth, you don't hold on to anything long enough to create a physical product. So you end up defaulting to whatever is your dominant energy, and unfortunately, if you're undisciplined, it's usually the negative. The energetic arena is a free-flowing space of instant manifestation, but the physical is a dense, slow-moving space that is the end result of focused attention that's been applied over a long period of time until the substanceless form in the energetic realm has successfully gathered mass and substance so it can appear in the physical realm. Manifestation is instantaneous in the energetic where the product begins, but we are asking that it come into the physical where we are enjoying a temporary physical experience. We are in a denser, slower space. It requires more energetic substance. So don't give up if it's not instant. Just stay with it. The person who is consistent in manifesting what they do want is quick to take responsibility for what's occurring. Please, it's no one else's fault. You're the only person that can manifest anything in your life. If you don't give permission for something to be in your life, it can't be there. So if something is there, you have given permission on a conscious or subconscious level. Otherwise, it would not be in your life. The person who's responsible allows their conversation, attention, and actions to be centered around the things they personally can do to attract their desired outcome. They are not talking about how Mary and Bob prevented them from getting what they wanted. None of their time is spent looking at what others are doing or not doing. They realize that the only one they can control is themselves, so they spend all of their time making themselves the best they can be. They don't expect anyone to do it for them, nor do they blame others if they don't get the results they desire. The successful manifester looks at what went right, looks at all they've created, and examines what they're thinking so they can continue down this path of righteousness. Righteousness is not being the loudest or the most superior in the room. Righteousness is engaging in right thinking that will allow you to get the right result. And the right result is the one that's best for you. So, the one who is a great manifester practices right thought, right feeling, and right deed, and they expect to be rewarded, and rightly so, with right result. Because when you are in alignment and you are focused on all that you do want, and you are doing everything in your power to make it easy for that to get to you, if it's for your highest good, it will find you. Fourth, the successful manifester has done the work of clearing and aligning the entire body. Instead of using an I hope so strategy, they employ the I am responsible for my own output strategy. This is where it's really good to work with a coach, especially when you're beginning, or a teacher, or someone who can help you hear yourself, because we're all deaf to our own conversation until we're trained. Help you hear that your conversation may be going off in a negative way. No one can do it for you, but they can help you hone your ability. Therefore, they do the work to clear and heal the heart. They do the work to clear their limiting beliefs and negative thinking and feeling, and replace them with positive, life-affirming, success-attracting thoughts and feelings that will reinforce what is wanted until it can gain the form and substance needed to enter the physical reality. In other words, they step into alignment with what they want. And again, if you are new to this, do yourself the favor of hiring someone to work with you, a teacher, a coach, a leader, a guide, a mentor. Work with someone to help you catch those times when you are participating in a limiting belief or being very negative in your thinking. We are not trained, especially in this Western society, to look for the good. We are trained to look for the to be prepared for that other shoe to drop. And you must, if you're going to be successful, get out of that headspace. So instead of believing you can or cannot manifest, it's time to understand you are always manifesting. But believe me, when I first started, I used to say things like, I must be the worst manifester in the world. No, I just had the worst attitude. I was the most filled with negative thinking and limiting beliefs. I was clouded with resentment and blame and shame. So I manifested more of it. Do the work to manifest that which is wanted by aligning all of yourself with what you want. Stop talking and thinking about what you don't want. You are never going to attract what you do want by focusing on what you don't want. Begin immersing yourself in the experience of all that you do want to receive. Act as if you are a brilliant manifester. And now you have the knowledge to become a wise manifester. And that's what we want for each one of you. We want you to be your most brilliant self. So now I'm going to take a question and then we're going to look through what they have shared with us because we really want to make sure that we all know. Actually, they're asking me to reverse the order. So I see that Katie has a question. Katie, I so appreciate your patience. We absolutely will answer your question. But let's get really clear. Manifesting was one of the most difficult things for me to wrap my head around. And so I'm just going to go from my own experience, which was I needed to hear this again and again and again. And so I want to honor all of you by making sure that you're hearing it enough so that you really understand it. First of all, let's remember, manifesting is always easy. It begins in as little as 60 seconds. But easy doesn't equal instantaneous. Proper manifesting is a process. Remember, we are taking that which exists in the energetic and asking it to form into a beingness that we can interact with in the dense, slow, physical. So it takes a process. It takes time, and no one can put a time limit on your manifestation. Please don't believe anyone that tells you they can give you a timeline, but you can speed it up or slow it down depending on your attitude. No one is incapable of manifesting. Everyone, everywhere is always manifesting. But success requires that you engage with all of the positive possibilities while ignoring everything negative. That was a big challenge for me. I wanted to examine what was going wrong. Just let it go. It's imperative that you focus your conversation on the positive. The easiest way to understand what's going on in your subconscious mind is to pay attention to your automatic responses. So someone says to you, hey, how's it going? And you say, oh, well, I'm getting by. Whoa. Go in the heart. Do some work. Something is wrong there. I want you to respond. How's it going? Fabulous. I'm doing amazingly well. I love my life. I want you to be overflowing with joy. That's the space in which manifestation speeds up. Oh, I'm doing the best I can. You're slowing down or just completely annihilating that ability to manifest. So, what story are you telling regarding your circumstances? So important not to forget the story that you're attaching to it. The story shapes your reality, and your progress depends on the story and the self-talk you have running in the background. So we're not going to be pretending. We're not playing a game here of if I just stick my head in the sand, no one will notice. Pretending doesn't have the power. It's just avoidance. Act as if. Take responsibility. Have a clear goal. Tell the story of what's wanted and refuse to give your attention to negative or limiting beliefs. And let's quickly look at the 4 steps that they've outlined for us, because we really want to make sure that we get a hold of our question with Katie. So remember that manifesting is happening continuously. The energy of 1 minute is all that's needed for manifestation to begin. However, we as humans have squeezed our attention span down to about 8 seconds. So it's difficult to create anything if you will not give yourself the ability to really focus. This is where you're going to have to get really tough. Your attention span may be 8 seconds. You're going to have to get some discipline going and change that. It's difficult to create anything when your attention is split between so many things. So learn how to just put your attention on your goal. Close down all the other things that are going on for the time that you want to consciously spend in aligning with your goal. Put your energy on stabilizing your focus, and the manifestation will take care of itself. You don't have to do heavy lifting. Your focus is your heavy lifting. So here's an example. Here in Los Angeles, where I live, they are incredibly crazy about giving parking tickets. So they have decided it is an incredible source of revenue for this city. Millions upon millions of dollars are earned every year. So how did they manifest these millions of dollars? Well, first they had the idea. Then they put up the signs because they realized that nobody was going to pay it unless they had been forewarned. And then they took the action to give tickets 5 minutes right after the time period was up, and sometimes tow your car within 15 minutes if you were not paying attention. They are single-mindedly focused on this revenue. If we all had the same kind of focus they do, we also would be pulling in millions of dollars a year. Now, second thing, consistency. They never miss an opportunity to give a ticket. They don't take the day off. Oh, well, I think we'll just give them all a break. Sometimes you slide by, but you better not be counting on that, because those tickets are $70 and I've gotten a few. Even though I am prepared, I still haven't always gotten out there in time. But without consistency, there's no momentum. And without momentum, there's no manifestation. So you need a clear vision. You need the sustained application of that energy. And then you need to give it enough time so that the free-flowing energetic can become dense enough to be part of the enter into our physical. Third, we need to take responsibility for what is being created. Don't expect anyone else to do it for you. Realize you can only control yourself. Don't blame others. If you fall in a ditch, it's okay. Don't even blame yourself. Just pick yourself up and go on. And practice the 3 R's. Right feeling and right deed. Fourth, alignment is necessary for successful manifesting. Your heart needs to be cleared and healed. If your heart is filled with blame and shame, resentment, or negativity, and your mind is trying to be positive, okay, maybe you'll make a little forward progress, but you really need to make sure that mind is filled with positive thoughts and images, and your heart is in alignment if you are going to be successful. Let go of I hope so. You cannot get concrete results with wishy-washy thinking and a conflict between the heart and mind. Instead, begin saying to yourself, I'm responsible for my output. I am responsible for my output. Just let yourself off the hook over and over and over again. Please don't play the shame game. That's not going to help you. Be willing, though, to be held accountable. Recognize, whoa, that's not coming to me because I'm not allowing it. Let me get into my place of allowing. Next time, oh, I see I'm out of alignment again. Let me step back into allowing. And then stay with it for as long as necessary, because manifestation is instantaneous in the energetic, but the continued application of focus is necessary for the desired result to become a physical creation. You're not doing anything wrong if it seems to take a bit of time. It's just part of the process. So let's hear from Katie, and then if we have time, we're going to do a little alignment focus exercise. So, Katie?
Hi. Thank you for
Hi
taking my
there.
call. Hi. I love it. I love everything you said.
Well, I have to tell you, this was the hardest thing for me to learn. So, I feel like sometimes I may be like beating your heads into the ground with it, but darn, I still catch myself doing things that I know are counterproductive. So please receive this with complete love and no judgment. It's only because it's been tough for me that I am so banging on this drum.
No. You know what? People can have the same message, but the delivery is different. And every time you hear it, you can hear it in a different way. Because a lot of these things I've heard many years. I've been, spiritually awake for years, but sometimes you forget. You live in a real world. You forget these things, then you get back awake, and then you just got to get back on that bike.
Oh, fast as you can.
Yes. Yes. So I'm calling. So I feel like I used to be a good manifestor. I don't know what has happened. So I've been looking for a job. And what I thought my work was to do was send out a resume. So I sent out resumes, and at first, like in December, I didn't hear anything back. And then I was like, well, maybe it's the holidays, things like that. And people still celebrate now in January. Still didn't hear anything back. So I was like, okay. So I decided to change my resume a little bit, like make it more clearer. And then I started to get responses, and people were calling me for many different jobs. Some of them were paying a lot of, let me not say a lot of money, but paying six figures. And then I started to tell people that's the salary I wanted. And they would say, okay, I'm going to submit you and everything. And I had heard nothing back from them. And I'm just wondering what is going on. And because I don't say things to myself, though. I don't say, like, affirmations and stuff. I kind of just feel like I already know them, but I don't say things. Like, I don't say, you're going to get a job or your value, I don't say stuff. But I do find myself waking up sad.
Oh, you are brilliant. Because fabulous insight that is. So a couple of things came to mind as you were talking. And again, we can never hear our own conversation. And that's why it's so valuable to be each other's sounding board, but to be a loving sounding board. So what I want you to do, Katie, is to take a deep breath and to relax and to allow the absolute unconditional love of God to flow over you right into your heart. And then I want you to go into your heart and be a young Katie. Be a Katie that's just starting out. And ask yourself, do I feel worthy? Just ask yourself, do I feel worthy when I was starting out in the job market? Did I feel worthy? What's that response?
I'm feeling overlooked. And this believe it or not, now that I'm thinking about it, the same situation that I'm going through now happened when I first graduated from college.
Perfect. Okay. So
yes, this is the same situation, yes.
You found the place, the ouch, that's holding you stuck. So you've got a dichotomy going on. What you need to do, and we can't do it in depth here, but we'll do our best. We'll do a little bit here. We're going to do a little bit of heart work so that we begin kind of digging around in there. And I feel that the origin of this is even earlier. And
yes. I've had money issues earlier, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's take a moment and create a circle of white light. What we need to do is bring energy down from our highest self point, which is the place where God connects with us in its fullness. Even though God is within us, it is the God within that does this work for us. And you can give God any name you want, universe, source, whatever, but we all come with that divine essence within, or we would not be able to be here. So we use this divine energy to help us when we're caught in a place that is not serving us. So you create a circle of white light, and joining us in the circle are two beings of magnificence. One is Jesus, and you may call Jesus, if that makes you uncomfortable, you may call him the Christ light. It is the Christ light that is the energy of the heart, the unconditional energy of the heart. And also with us is Saint Germain, who is really the master of manifestation. So when you're in your energetic space, it's always best just to say, angels, ascended masters, archangels, whomever is best to help me with this situation, please come forward now. You don't need to know who it is. Let them choose. They know their role better than we do. So
right.
It's always better to let them choose. Now, when you do heart work, it is the Christ light energy that is within all of us that does that, because it is the energy of unconditional love. So that's never going to change. So what you want to do is call the very first time you remember this energy of being overlooked.
Okay.
And how old were you?
Okay. No, because I'm very aware. I could tell you anything about anything, like the real reason and everything. I don't know. I've kind of just been dealing with this all my whole life with my mom, and but basically, my mother. I didn't fit. My father was on drugs. My mother didn't want to have me, but she had me, and she kind of like blamed me projected stuff about my father onto me. But she would always she stopped taking care of me financially when I was like 14, and but she would always give everybody else money and not me.
Okay, so we need to do some work to disconnect with her lovingly. But let's assume that because this was an uncomfortable time in her life, her dissatisfaction with you may have begun in the womb. And so let's bring you in utero into the circle. Now, this energy of you has never experienced what it's really like to be loved fully. So allow that energy to go directly onto Mother, Father, God's lap. They are the only perfect parents in existence. Try. Sometimes we don't try. And sometimes we do it right. And often we get it wrong. And let's bring your mom in. And if you feel, and you can, this is a public broadcast, if you feel that you want to share anything out loud with your mother, what you do when you create sacred space, when you create this white circle of light, is that you can share. Actually, they're asking me for you to keep it private so that we do not embarrass your mother in any way. So when you create a circle of white light, you create sacred space. And within this sacred space, you can literally pour your heart out. You can say all of the things that are hurting you, or all of the things you felt that you couldn't say if the person was standing in front of you, because it would result in a tremendous amount of hurt. Doesn't mean that you're always right. It just means that is hurting you, and you need a way to safely release those things that are hurting you. So just take a moment and say to your mom what it has felt like to be overlooked and unwanted. And then tell me when you're finished. On you.
Okay, I told her.
And I was just toning the words on your, which is God's self-adjusting light. Here with us now is Archangel Michael. He's going to cut the Akka cords between you and your mother. Akka cords may appear gray for those who are clairvoyant. They may appear to be gray. They are simply a negative attachment that we have formed with another person. And the reason why isn't important. It's just that when we hold on to negative attachments, we hold ourselves in the negative vibration, in those lower vibrations. Our goal for every life is to spend as much time as possible in the high vibration of love, joy, and peace. That's where joy is. That's where manifestation is. That's where you get to share your gift and be your authentic self. So it is always wonderful to call on Archangel Michael and ask him to cut the Akka cords. It does not eliminate any loving connection that may exist between you and any other person. It just lets go of the negative. So letting Archangel Michael surround your entire being. He holds the sword of truth. Just breathing in deeply of unconditional love. Let that negativity drop from you. And now we're going to just allow Mom to go off. We're going to give her a hug, give her an energetic hug. She is not responsible for her inability to see your glory. She doesn't know how to. So we're not going to hold her accountable or responsible because we're asking her to do something that she's not capable of doing at this time. And there's no reason to attach yourself to that wagon. It can't go to the stars. It can only go to hell. So at some point, we hope that she'll wake up and you can, from your high place, can reach down and say, "Hey, Mom, join me up here." It's fabulous, but we have no way of knowing if or when she's going to do that. So we just love her and let her go. We close the door, but we don't latch it. "Thanks, Mom, but I don't want to engage with your negativity. It will not help or serve either one of us. So I'm going to climb the ladder into my high place and stay there, sending out beautiful energy, this beautiful energy of unconditional love to absolutely everyone, and hope that you agree, Mom, to receive it as well." But now we still have to do a little bit more work. And again, we can't do this in depth, so we're moving a little more quickly than we should. But I want to give you some relief from this burden. So now we are going with Jesus, or the energy of unconditional love, into the space of the heart. And it is almost as though Jesus opens a door into our physical chakra center. Well, they're not physical, but in our physical body, into the energetic heart space. And we walk down a corridor, and you just continue to walk until you get to a place that is pulsating or lighting up or pulling you. What's your dominant psychic sense? What's your dominant sense? Do you hear them, feel them, or see them?
Oh, I never thought about that. I definitely don't see anything. I mean, I'm acting great with imagination, but I don't actually just get visions. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I just have a gut feeling, or maybe it's audits, like I hear something positive giving me messages at times.
Okay, but it sounds like feeling is your dominant sense. So you just keep moving energetically in that space until you feel pulled to a particular place.
Okay.
And so I want you to look at it. It's probably a door or it's some sort of barrier. And it will say, "I'm always overlooked. No one's going to hire me. I don't count." And then it may say something like, "That's okay." Because we love to justify why these things are happening because it hurts. So,
okay, I can see your door. Okay.
What does it look like? Does it have a color?
It looks like it's like a greenish gray. It's like a heavy door, like a metal door.
Excellent. Is it a particular temperature? And let me tell you, the door is making me nauseous. It's like vomit green is what it's looking like to me. So, excellent. This is a brilliant choice. Does it have a temperature?
I would think it's cold.
I would think so too. Very unfeeling.
Yeah.
And you said it's quite heavy. So we never do the heavy lifting in the heart. That's not our job. So Jesus opens the door for us, and in we walk to see what you have created a shrine to. What is it that you're holding in your heart that is so painful that you can't let go of it, that's cost you so much that you feel that you need to protect yourself by holding on to it?
Oh, I think I feel abandoned.
And does that have a feeling to it? Like somewhere in your body? Do you have a reaction to it physically?
I mean, no, not right now in this moment, because I don't know. I'm kind of I know my issue, so no.
Okay, that's okay.
No, I don't feel a feeling with it. I guess it's a sadness. I don't know.
Well,
Like it's like a prison. It's kind of a prison, but then it's kind of, I have like windows.
You're brilliant.
So.
You're brilliant, Katie. It is a prison. It's the reason you're waking up sad. When we go offline, the subconscious starts filtering these things through our dreams, through our thoughts of just our idle thoughts. The subconscious tries to communicate with us to tell us, we're in trouble over here, Katie. Help. You need to address this. You're imprisoning yourself. You cannot move forward. That job cannot say yes to you because you're holding on to the energy of abandonment, and saying the job saying yes to you would be you being included. It doesn't mesh with the program going on. It can't happen.
Okay.
So Archangel Michael is here to help us out again. And they love this work so much that he has a whole legion of angels that come with him. And they want to help too. So here's the really fun part. You've got to do something to get rid of this spirit, this energy of abandonment and sadness. And I want you to pick the thing that will feel best to you. So sometimes we picture a TNT machine, that old-fashioned one with the big handle, and it makes a huge explosion. You can get rid of it any way you want. A volcano, an ocean, ocean waves, a cyclone. It's not going to hurt anything, because energy can't be hurt. It can't be destroyed. It can only be transformed.
Right.
So it's just for your satisfaction. It's just for you to say, ha, I am so glad to be rid of you. So that when you finish this process, it really will be transformed because you did something that had meaning to you. So how do we want to get rid of this abandoned, sad, lonely, I cannot receive something good because it's counter to my program energy?
Oh. Well, I was thinking of, because like the prison, I imagine it had all these open windows though, that open windows. I imagined a bird coming in to gift, and I got the back of the bird and the building collapsed.
I love it.
And I flew away on the bird.
The more you do the work to find out what would feel good to you, the more impact this has. So here comes Archangel Michael on a giant bird. He does nothing teeny tiny. And here come all of the other little angels on their teeny tiny birds. You get to hop on with Archangel Michael, and they are like your entourage, your your celebratory parade to see as you fly off. So here we go. On you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you, on you. Has your prison collapsed and are you free?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Okay, so now you never leave a vacuum because we're still not completely 100% disciplined in thinking only positive thoughts, so we don't give room for negativity to worm itself back in there. So now we have to fill it with the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
And now what I want you to do, Katie, is to create a new door. And as you create the new door, here's the new name that you are going to be calling yourself. I am worthy, valuable, and delighted about all that I am. Everyone is excited to accept me. I am delighted to receive. I am free. I am loved. I am desired. Allow that to be your new truth. I am free. I am loved. I am desired. And just watch the job invitations come rolling in. Recognize your worth. Stand in your worth. Believe in yourself and recognize that feeling unworthy or unloved or abandoned prevented anyone from saying yes to you because it was out of line with the program that you had running at one of the deepest layers. So every time you start to feel a little hitch in your system, go back and say, no, wait a minute. That's not my truth. My truth is I am loved. I am free. I am desired. I can say yes to good things.
Thank you. Thank you. I love this experience. I would definitely.
Oh, I'm so glad. We did rush you a little bit.
No. You know what? Because I do a lot of clearing. I do EFT. I do eye mirror work with releasing energy, and I'm constantly trying to release things. So it's always shocked when someone says, "Yeah, it's still there," or something like that. So, I guess got to continually to do it. What's funny? You see how you're singing those songs? Yesterday, I'm watching a movie, and do you know that French song? It's a French nursery rhyme. I think it's called Farah Shaka, Farah Shaka. I happened to hear a clip of it in this movie, and I started crying. And then I was like, it was reminding me of something, and I just started crying, and I'm like, this song reminds me of something. I don't know if it's my childhood or a past life. And then I was listening to the nursery rhyme, and it just, I don't know, it just was so emotional. I was like, what? What is that?
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up because I'm rushing so much that I completely forgot that we placed your in utero self on Mother, Father, God's lap, and we need to go back into the circle and bring her back into the circle with us. Okay. And now you get to share with her. Just share from your heart, do a heart exchange with her, and decide what you want to do. You've carried this pain for so long, but she became free when you became free. So she can either go into the new chamber, that chamber that says, I am free, I am loved, I am desired, and enjoy the energy of that incredible space, or she may return to the energetic space and be her highest expression of herself. It's whatever you desire, whatever feels best to you. But she will be with you always and be your support and encouragement.
Okay, well, I'm taking her with me.
Okay. And now together, let us bless all those people who have been hurt because of parental relationships that didn't go as we hope parental relationships will go. And let us send them love. I love to wrap people in blankets of pink and gold light, which is just energy, just the energy of unconditional love. So let's wrap all those who are hurting in a blanket of pink and gold light. And then let us bring that energy into our hearts and allow it to travel up through our higher self point. Give it as a gift of gratitude to God, that they may amplify that which we have been able to create here and send it out into all universes, known and unknown, that we may serve everyone who is open to receiving. because God can add their complete knowing and wisdom and do what we cannot do when we are separated from their graciousness. Remember how important it is that we accept our role as creators and as manifestors, because God gave us this ability and said that they will not interfere. They gave us free will and that they will not interfere, but we will be the conduit to bring the good onto the planet, to bring the fullness, the love, and the glory forth from within us. So we must always remember just how powerful we are and what a sacred gift we have all been given, and share it freely and without condition. So, Katie, thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting this. Thank you.
Well, and I was not I was planning on doing something completely different, but I'm so glad you were here with us and that they guided us to do this heart exercise. And for those of you who are feeling like you're stuck in the dark, or you're in a place of shame and blame, or you're just trying to recover from abuse, and Katie, what you experienced was abuse, and yet your mother is still caught in the abuse cycle. You've freed yourself from that, but she's still caught. So we're definitely going to wrap her in a blanket of pink and gold light and hope that one day she will be able to step into the high place of love, joy, and peace. But if you are trying to move past or out of an abusive situation, or you just feel stuck, lost, or confused, message me. I offer a complimentary consultation to absolutely everyone. It's your angel breakthrough session. We will not be doing what I did with Katie today. That's intensive work that we would do in a closed session, but Katie was gracious enough to allow me to guide her into that. And it was only the briefest introduction. Usually we do much deeper, longer work. But I would be so delighted to speak with all of you who are hurting in any way and see if heart work is right for you. So it's Marcia, M-A-R-C-I-A, Marcia Martin, thehearthealer.com. Now, if you have an idea or a question or a concern, make sure, which I did not do, to even go check for questions, because I was enjoying it so much, my time with you, Katie. If you have a concern or a question, or you have an idea of something that you would like me to explore, please make sure you write to me. Again, it's Marcia, M-A-R-C-I-A, at Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer. I can't guarantee you .com. I can't guarantee you that it's going to be the very next show, but we do try to address all of your concerns, because guarantee you that if you have the question, many other people have it who are unable to generate the courage to ask it. So please be the brave one that helps all of us. All right, everyone, that's all we have time for today. Again, Katie, thank you so much. And for those of you who...
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. And for those of you who chose to just be listeners, thank you for adding your sacred energy. It's so important that we have a chance to join together in pursuit of a common goal, and that common goal is to bring as many people as possible into the high place of love, joy, and peace. So, again, until next Sunday, I'm sending you all my love.
You've been listening to another fabulous program on Angel Heart Radio. Our goal is to remind you of how much you matter in the world, and to let you know that we appreciate who you are in the world. You can check out who's on, when we're on, and who our guests are at angelheartradio.com. Everything is there. It's all just one click away. Angel Heart Radio programs are powerful tools to help you in your life and your life experience. They are not intended, nor should they, be used to replace your medical or legal advice. The views expressed by hosts, co-hosts, callers, guests and associates should not be construed as advice from Angel Heart Radio.